How we doing? We're live today, Monday 25th. Going live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, except this week because Thursday is Thanksgiving. So today I want to talk about slowing down to go faster or to simplify life, to move quickly or to multiply or to compound. A few reasons why this is coming up. Number one, well, first of all, it's like the last couple weeks of the year. That's number one. Number two, it's Thanksgiving week. Number three, I'm shipping out a lot of 80/20 journals to a private client team. And yes, I still do some of my own shipping because I print my own books. And anyways, these journals, if you want a digital copy, just let me know. I can send you a free digital copy. But in part of the journal, I have a sentence where I dive into what's the difference between momentum and movement. What's the difference between speed and velocity? You see, sometimes we confuse movement with productivity. We confuse movement with feeling busy and doing the right things. Just last week, if you would ask me how you doing, I'd be saying I'm superiorly busy. But again, that's a lot of movement. Am I making momentum forward towards the goals, the quarterly rocks, the things that you're trying to achieve? I think it's a key question to ask. The second with velocity is how do you move closer to each one of those milestones? Because speed, you can do a lot in a very short amount of time quickly, but if you're moving in multiple directions, are you actually moving forward? If a lot of things are pulling you, are you actually moving forward in those directions? And I see this a lot when we're doing quarterly planning with clients. If I'm looking at my internal stuff, if I'm working with coaching clients, or if I'm developing strategy for clients, sometimes we want to do a lot and conquer the entire world in a quarter or a year or the next 2 years. And I think I'm not here to challenge the ambition. I think the ambition is correct. I think we need to hone in that ambition and that intensity, but honing that in to figuring out what do I need to do less of? So a few questions to reflect on. What do you need to do less of? Not the things that you don't like, because like those are things like what do you tolerate that you shouldn't be doing? Like that's definitely something to go through. But what should you be doing less of in order for you to build the bandwidth or the space or the mental headspace to do the right activities, to move maybe a little slower, but the velocity, or when you take an action and you implement that action, you move substantially quicker. Maybe instead of trying to do research for, let's say you try have a new initiative, maybe you have a KPI and you're trying to reduce or increase that KPI by, I don't know, 5 basis points in the next quarter, whatever that KPI is. Let's say that's your initiative. What if instead of, for that particular initiative, trying to do 20 things or 3 things or 5 things, focus what is the one thing I need to do, and spending 2, 3, 4 weeks just getting context around that thing. And then after that phase is over, testing it in real time with your team, with your clients, with your business, and putting it to the test. And then once you've actually solidified that test, working with your team to make it a standard operating procedure, baking it into your process. And what I just said there is very simple. This is simple, but it's boring, it's slow, and it's not 5 things at once, it's one thing, focusing on one thing. But when you do that, and I'm personally reflecting here live, but then also just reflecting with clients like that I'm thinking about in real time live. When you do that, you're able to really weed out the things that must be true in order for you to reach your goals versus the things that you think need to be true in order to reach your goals. And second, once you actually take build the foundation and the legwork to simplify how you approach things and actually implement it, you'll be on a different foundation. Because when you build a foundation at one level, it's helping you incrementally grow to the next level. And this is something that I learned on early in my career, like helping companies scale, is that scale and growth. I think we've learned this a lot from Y Combinator, the internet, Silicon Valley. That scale is sexy like a J curve. You're scaling and you're hyper growth, and I think that's fantastic and that's fabulous, and I think that can work with a lot of companies. But for myself and the teams that I've helped, growth is a staircase. You grow, you build a new foundation in the new level. If not, you're going to go backwards. And then from there, you have a new horizon where you can see what are the future goals? What are we doing from here? What are we seeing from here? What can we now see from this perspective that we couldn't see when we were down there? And then from there, another growth stage. So again, that stage can be months, it can be years, whatever that stage is, and then a new foundation. And you do that until you reach your destination, until you reach where you want to go with that particular initiative, company, or business. And again, it's a simple, it's boring, but it takes time. But I think, in my opinion, building a solid foundation is necessary to simplify, to slow down, to really focus on momentum, not just movement, to really focus on building velocity in milestones, not just taking a tons of action and feeling like you're moving super fast, but you're actually making zero progress, or maybe very little progress than you could if you slow down. Those are the thoughts for the day. As I'm shipping out these 80/20 journals, there's a bunch more on the in the box that just came in, and we'll go from here.